There's a new effort in Congress to help families of America's fallen service members get the benefits they say they deserve. The problem is called the widow's tax, and this Memorial Day, it's been thrust back into the spotlight. Ed O'Keefe is on Capitol Hill. Ed, good morning. What is the widow's tax?
Well, good morning, Tony, and good question. It blocks roughly 65,000 military widows from receiving full benefits from the Pentagon and the Departments of Veterans Affairs. And now some of those widows are spending time up here on Capitol Hill reminding lawmakers that helping the families of the fallen should be a top priority.
He wanted to make the world a better place so that his sons would have a better life.
When Tracy Volke's husband, Army Major Paul Volke, was killed in action 7 years ago, she not only had to deal with losing her spouse, she also had to worry about her family's financial future.
There's an archaic rule on the books that if you get money from the VA, that money offsets any money that's paid by the DOD.
A widow can get roughly $1,300 a month tax-free from a compensation fund run by the VA if they agree not to hold the government responsible for their spouse's death. Some also get a payment from a Defense Department survivor's benefit plan that their deceased spouse had paid into. But the 1972 law that launched the Pentagon program blocks some of these families from collecting from both funds. Instead, for every dollar a spouse gets from the VA, they lose $1 of survivor benefits from the Pentagon. It's known as the widow's tax. Tracy said she's missed out on $1,300 every month for 7 years. That's more than $100,000.
I think part of the reason why my husband served was he knew that if something were to happen, we'd be taken care of.
Now, Democratic Senator Doug Jones of Alabama and Republican Susan Collins of Maine are leading a bipartisan campaign to fix the problem. More than 70 senators support the plan. Hundreds of members in the House back a similar idea.
This is a case of tremendous unfairness. We have an obligation not only to the service members, but to their families.
People have talked to us, and they've expressed that anger, and they're right. They should be angry. Hey, how are you?
It's good to see you.
Kathy Milford lost her husband more than 25 years ago and has been dealing with the widow's tax ever since.
I mean, it's been pretty amazing the way this is going.
3 years ago, she decided it was time to start lobbying Congress.
It's very difficult for me because I have to keep telling about my husband died, my husband died, my husband died. And I would rather talk about our life together rather than talking about his death.
After so many years, the current fight to fix the problem might finally be paying off.
I'm hoping this Memorial Day that people call their congressmen and the people at the DOD can kind of listen to our stories and see that we're not just a bill. This isn't just a bill that you have to pay. This is a cost of war, and this is what our families are owed.
Now, the Pentagon tells us that this would cost roughly $6 billion to fix. That's a big cost. But with Congress already trying to sort out some tax issues for benefits given to the children of service members, there's a hope that Congress will also address the issue for widows, which has lingered for far longer.